I mentioned a moment ago that neither coach had used their challenge.
As they challenge the call.
Countdown.
Got a cold fizz beer.
That's a fucking troll. Okay. Good afternoon, folks. This is California Curl here with
I hate you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Coaches Challenge. We're here with H, Lamont, Miggs, Carl, and myself, California Curl. And we're here reviewing the pinnacle moments, big moments, historic moments in basketball history. But today we're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna be talking about the NBA coming back. So if you guys haven't heard, the NBA is back. And guys, thoughts on the NBA's return?
I'm excited. My Sixers are still in, so hey, I'm happy.
I think it's great. I think it's great that's going to happen. And we're going to see a champion be crowned by way of playoffs.
Couldn't let it go.
I really feel that. Unlike, some fantasy leagues platforms. But yeah, it's good. It's good for everyone.
Okay. Shout out to the now 3. How many? 3?
3 championships.
3 championships. We got Carl here.
That's it. I'm a triple crown fantasy winner.
Whoop, whoop.
Got a lot of people
rings are earned, not given.
They woke up today. They was upset because Yahoo came with the decision, and Yahoo has made me champion of 3 leagues. And you know what? They could hate all they want, but when they look at the banner, they're going to see Carl next to 2019. I'm very excited for the NBA to come back. We had way too much free time. I think America wants the NBA to come back because they tired of the protesting. So, we need to see a champion. We need to see a champion.
Anyway, I'm glad that the NBA is coming back. We're gonna get a champion. They're gonna get to compete. I like the fact that they're gonna get everybody together in Orlando. They said, right, in Florida to get the season back running, to get all the players, in the hotels. They get to bring family members. They get to, and I know the NBA is gonna make sure that it's COVID-19 ready, prepared for this, because they're dealing with superstars and activists and GOATs, you feel me? So they got to make sure all of that, they got to make sure all of that is ready for these players and to have a safe season where nobody gets sick or anything crazy happens or stuff like that. So I'm glad they're doing that. I wish, and on a side note, I wish Yahoo would have been more creative. NBA was, and came up with a way for a champion to be crowned.
The champion was crowned
by competing against the best 8 teams, not the full season. But congratulations to all those regular season champions across the nation.
The way I feel is that you shouldn't wait until the last day to compete. You should compete all season, and that's what I did. I was beating everybody all season.
Hey, you got a trophy. You got a trophy.
Yeah, you beat everybody all season. Nothing new, Mr. First Round Exit. You never passed the playoffs. You were primed to collapse in the playoffs, first round, as always. Definitely.
As always, bro. I have other NBA chips, bro. You have 0, so I don't know why you talking to me, bro.
Yeah.
I got a silver chip in my cabinet, and I have 4 gold chips in my cabinet. What you got in your cabinet? Nothing. Don't tell me about football either, because we talking basketball.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about football.
Exactly, because we on basketball.
Miggs can't really say anything about that, honestly.
Yeah.
You're not in that conversation. Yeah. Now, if Jonah was talking to me that way because Jonah got chips in his cabinet, now I could understand. But Miggs, like, bro, you sound like Scottie Pippen trying to keep me off the G team. Like, bro, like,
all I have to say is, as far as fantasy basketball goes, all I have to say is Team Chuck will win the basketball championship next season.
You heard it.
I
You
gotta
heard
say
it
about
here.
Bro, Miggs been saying that for every season. It's like
Oh,
this
damn.
every season.
And I'm always gonna say it, like Scooter McGruder.
Miggs, that smells like a friendly wager. Let me know. Hit me up.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. We don't gamble here.
Yeah. Now to the lines, but yeah, Miggs, you got lucky, man. You got saved. You got saved by Corona too, boy.
Oh yeah, definitely. We would, but I would have been in the playoffs in at least two leagues.
Yeah, bro, it wasn't looking good for you in those leagues either.
Damn.
What can you do?
I'm tight. I didn't get an opportunity. I was in the playoffs in every other league, and I didn't get an opportunity to
That's
compete.
what hurts.
You
man.
That's what really hurts.
No, wasn't Gertie? Were you first in FIBA? Was it right?
No, I was on the cusp.
Oh no, all right.
So he was second. You were second in FIBA.
I'm not sure. I think he was up there, right?
Lamont, what was your seed on?
I was ninth.
Lamont was a tiebreaker. I think if Ron lost,
he was on the bubble.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy, man.
So what do you think about basketball? What's up with basketball now being in Orlando and Walt Disney?
All right, this is what I wanted to talk about. I think it's a great idea what they're doing, but I don't trust some of the players because you have to be there and you're allowed. I think they said 2 or 3 family members that can come with you. Not only can the players not leave, but those family members can't leave, or whoever you have, they can't leave that complex at all for the 2-3 months that they're going to be there. You literally have to stay there. The only reason why I'm worried about that is because I know he says he's more mature, and he's shown a fraction of that, not really too much, but I don't trust Embiid or who he might have there staying in that one place for long, because I don't see, even with all their faults, I don't see the Sixers losing right away. So I see them still being there for at least the majority of the times there. Don't see that happening. We've already seen with the whole infection of the whole Utah Jazz, I don't see Rudy Gobert staying locked in for that long and not trying to escape or do something ridiculous.
Honestly, Donovan Mitchell's going to be on him.
He might be on him, but Donovan Mitchell is still he hasn't been on the team as long as Gobert. I don't see Gobert really folding to Donovan Mitchell. I think for the teams like the Lakers and stuff like that, they're gonna be fine because LeBron's gonna be on their ass. So I don't see any of them doing things like that.
No, but I think they're all gonna be they can't go nowhere. I think.
No, but the NBA is not forcing them to. They can't. They're not supposed to leave, but there's nothing stopping them from leaving. The NBA is just trusting them. No, there will be punishments. There's still gonna be punishments, but I still don't trust it because if you leave, not only will you get your punishment, but you have to wait the mandatory 7 days before you can go back on the court and things like that. Because
I think it's 14 days, isn't it?
No,
I know. Initially, there's 2 different quarantine periods. I know when the players first get to the complex, they're gonna have to, because a lot of players are all over the world, right? Travel and whatnot. So I know there's gonna be an initial quarantine that's gonna be the 14 days, and then for them to get on the court, there's gonna be another quarantine, but it's gonna be shorter than the 14.
Yeah, it's only 7 days, and they've stipulated this if somehow you get corona during the time period, like I said, you are out, and it counts as an injury for the team, and you have. But then whoever
he was next to got to get quarantined too.
One
quarantine could take out a whole team.
Yeah, that's an issue. I hope that some of them can maintain that, because there's still going to be a lot of younger people in there. I wasn't the most mature person, when I was 21 and even to 25. I could see myself in that situation sneaking out for a little bit, thinking I'd be okay with my mask and stuff on, and then God forbid I got corona, and then that could fuck up a team a lot.
If one of those players sneaks out and gets corona, comes back, that player is gonna be the biggest loser. in basketball history.
That might actually be Gobert again.
That's what I said. I don't trust some of these players because I hope that for my team we don't go through that. I'm gonna trust Embiid.
It seems like it seems like you're looking at Embiid like, yo, that nigga might.
I mean, that kind of goes down with the pros and cons of the NBA coming back, and I agree with you. And I think that's also the players that don't sneak out or probably get lethargic from being stuck all day.
Yeah, inside. I'm not also saying it from like maturity level. I'm just saying it for the fact that you were literally stuck in the same place for like 3 months.
I can see that affecting the way they play on the court, and I think that's gonna be evident once the exhibition.
No, I think players are used to
summer camp. Like most of these guys did some type of basketball camp before they came into the league, and most of these camps, like, you stay in one place for like 3
exactly.
months.
You're right, but you got to think about it. You got to think about this from a mental standpoint. For the kid, it doesn't seem like that because you want to go there. It feels like a camp.
Yeah, exactly.
You're literally forced to be down there. It feels more like a lockdown, even though you're going to play basketball and it's your job. After a while, you're gonna lose that neck.
No,
it's gonna seem like
I agree with you, Lamont. But here's one thing that I add to that too. Because remember, like, we've all been on a lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been on a quarantine. So these guys who always say that basketball is life, they love playing basketball. They haven't had an opportunity to play basketball in like 2-3 months.
Yeah, but a lot of these players,
a
lot of these, forget about the superstars that ball is life, but a lot of these role players, like the 15th guy on the bench, you know, them dudes, ball ain't life, ball is a job.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be any of the stars. Like
I think honestly, if you talk about like the 15 play on that team, I think ball is even more life for you because you one mistake from being cut. You one mistake from being into the G League. So I feel like for you, every single game is an interview. So
I'm talking about like those role players under contract, like dudes like Enes Kanter, you feel not Enes Kanter, I don't know, from the Cavs, somebody like Iguodala or
no, it would be like what's Mike's guy? Caspi? What was it? No,
Henry Caspi.
Yeah.
Mari Caspi's not in the league no more.
No, what? I can't. I don't. The
Jordan Clark.
The nigga who took over LeBron's spot as a small forward on.
Jetty.
Oh, you're thinking of Steady.
Yeah, there we go.
The last Jetty.
Nah, Steady doesn't look like a troublemaker.
But he said like people who
old veterans that are under contract. Mm-hmm. They don't really, ball ain't life, ball is a job. I've heard basketball players say that a lot of basketball players are lazy. You know, those.
Oh, yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, those players that don't like to work hard. They're just tall, athletic, naturally.
Well, staying on this topic, how do you feel about what came out today that some players are saying they don't want to come back? Like, and the league is saying, you know what? If that's their choice, then they're gonna allow it without like disciplining them.
Yeah, I respect that.
I respect that too, man. Because I compare it to my job, and if I had the choice not to come back, I wouldn't go back.
But they're gonna be losing money. They're gonna be losing.
Then they should be prepared. They should be prepared for any consequence that comes.
Exactly.
With not going to a job.
If you're losing money, you're losing money. That's on you.
But it's just like I don't feel bad for people who have a certain amount of income, and if they lose out on a few checks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Which did they name specific players who?
No, but it said it
was
like
Dame Dillard.
Dame Dillard. I know he definitely said that he wouldn't. He's not trying to come back, and his team is in the playoff race. So
honestly, it said it was dozens of players. So
it's like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Dame
don't want to come back.
Me, Dame kind of looks bad in that saying that though. To me, honestly,
probably the whole Knicks team.
I don't.
What do you think about Dame?
I mean,
when he says if your team has a chance, from an owner's point, the owners want any chance they get to make the playoffs. Because, like I said,
that's a lie. That's a complete fabricated lie.
Yeah, look at Dolan.
There were players. Why do you think it's only 22 teams that are coming in? Because they were saying they're like.
I'm talking about the teams that
Hornets. They were like, nah,
that were 9th and 10th place that had a chance. Not the Knicks. The Knicks were lottery, bro. I'm talking about the teams that had an actual chance. They won the chance to make the playoffs no matter what. So for Dame to come out of nowhere saying and the Blazers are in the hunt, are in the race. You know, the Blazers are in the race. How, as a competitor, as a leader of your team, how does that make you look?
Honestly, I agree with you, Jonah, because Dame gets a lot of props as being a leader. Like, you know, people always voting him as like, you know, like best leader here and this and that. And for me, I think this just makes him look incredibly weak because he's not a lottery team. So he's a team that they have a chance to come in. But I think what's happening is he's quitting. I think he's looking at the teams in the playoff and he's like, oh, we don't got a chance against those teams.
That doesn't sound like Dame.
Nah, I don't.
I mean, it could be that he's gonna put himself at risk. And I was watching an interview today, and they were talking about what the players have to go through when they're there. So they have to get tested every day, and the test is gonna be slightly different from the
because you have to remember, it's not, even though it could be one of the players or one of the people who they bring with them, it's not just them. There's gonna be some media people there and their teams, and it's gonna be NBA officials and things like that. There's a lot that can go on, and that's a lot of people you have to trust not to step outside after having cabin fever for like a month or two. Yeah. I understand on Dame's part not to. Like, worst case scenario, he gets coronavirus, he sits out, team loses whatsoever. That's the best case scenario if he gets it. Worst case scenario, he gets it, he plays, he ends up being one of the people who it's actually fatal to. He dies for playing basketball.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I mean, like that's the worst. That's the worst case. Or he doesn't get sick, or he gets sick, but he's one of those people who's just asymptomatic, and one of the people he brought over with him, he gets them sick, and they die.
All right, well, you wanna say that?
You have a good point there.
You're gonna be by yourself for 3 months.
It can happen though.
Lamont, let's mention
you can make a good argument, but let me ask you this. Dame was protesting all the last 2 weeks, clearly not following social distancing guidelines.
Right.
So I'm just saying it's like if he and I'm not trying to say that he wasn't doing it for a good cause. I'm not saying that, of course. I'm not trying to compare that to coming back to play a game of a sport. But what I'm trying to say is that before all of this happened, he was already a playoff team and he chose not to come back. So that already sets the pretense. That already sets it off and makes it look like
that sets the tone for the rest of your team.
I agree. I agree with you.
Watching this season, so now you're gonna and it's the only reason why we're talking about Dame is because he's the only the biggest name that we know so far that was in a playoff hunt.
And that's a pretty big name. Hold on. Hold on, Lamont. Just to you mentioned the extreme case on that side. The extreme, that extreme. That's the worst that can happen. He goes there, gets coronavirus, and dies. Right? That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah.
Now the best that can happen is that the Blazers make the playoffs, end up in the playoffs, and win the championship. You get me? So there's two sides, Like
I'm sorry, but you're weighing life over a championship. But like I said, I agree with you. I agree with you, Miggs, on that. But I have to play devil's advocate for this one. I think Dame is okay dying for the Black Lives Matter cause over dying for basketball.
Definitely.
But like I said, other than playing devil's advocate, I agree with you on that part. Like, if I feel like, even though it's a very serious matter, you should still think about your health. If you weren't going to be playing your sport for that, which is still your job, you should have been properly protecting yourself while protesting, because you can do both. Like, it doesn't make any sense to protest about Black Lives Matter while you're out there risking yourself and you're could possibly killing yourself or somebody else. So I agree with you on that point, where I don't think he was thinking that one.
Florida was one of the states that had the lowest cases of it. I know what the big issue is, all the incoming people that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they get tested and, they clear the test, especially right now, I think there's some people who believe because of the increasing temperatures that it's harder for the corona to survive.
I hate people. I'm sorry.
I'm not a doctor and I'm not a researcher, so I can't speak onto topics that I'm not experiencing, but I'll pass on that in case if anybody believes that. So that's a possible positive of like these guys coming into this bubble area. And like if all the other measurements and protocols come back, Like, I really don't see what excuse Dame has. If you really care about your family, tell your family to stay home. I know 3 months is a lot, but I feel like a lot of us have, you know, done summer camps. A lot of us have gone away for trips during the summer or whatever. And
yeah, they should be used to. They should be used to being on the road by now.
Quick.
That should be a piece of cake. But
exactly, these are players who travel every day, who are away from their family. For
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say this. Imagine if it would have been LeBron preaching that sentiment. They would have been calling him a quitter.
Oh yeah.
You know, doesn't believe in his team.
About.
Doesn't believe in his team. They would have been stirring it up that Anthony, you know, asked Anthony Davis what he thinks about it, asked the coaches what he thinks about it. They would have tried to turn everybody in on LeBron James for
you know what? I take it back.
For being selfish.
Look, but you're right about that, and that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to say, you know, that Dame shouldn't, you know, play. I mean, you're watching out for your well-being, you're watching out for your safety, and I'm not saying that, oh, like, you know, like, well, he went over the protest, you know, like, he could play ball, because there's no comparison, no way whatsoever. It's not about whether or not his decision to say those comments, you know, seems logical, because it is logical. The thing is, I'm just saying from a competitive standpoint, as a leader of your team, in a playoff race, not knowing whether or not the league is going to continue, you know, and then when you find out that it is, that they're just working out the kinks, saying that kind of just makes it look like you're not really trying to win. It's just a competitive standpoint criticism. The same way with any other player. If they're in the playoff hunt and they choose not to play, it's perfectly fine for them to do that. But my thing is, from a competitive nature standpoint, one would have to think, you know, do you want, as if you're LeBron James, who right now at his age, this is pretty much, it's like, if he doesn't win it now, it's going to be very difficult for him to win a 4th championship. For a guy like that,
as the main guy.
For a guy like just period. As the season that team doesn't improve. But look, but what I'm trying to say is, if he doesn't do it now, you know, but he's in the hunt and he's trying to cement his legacy. And what if, you know, Anthony Davis didn't want to play? What if Anthony Davis, didn't want to play? Like
that wouldn't happen. LeBron would kill like his dog or something to make him get
that's
to
what I'm
the
saying.
fucking...
That's like, when that would happen, you would, one would have to think,
MJ can't keep Isaiah out the dream team.
Yeah, it would be like a wake up call. Like, are these the guys that you want to roll with if you're trying to win a championship? If they, elect to not play, it's going to send a rift in each organization from a team standpoint. That's all I'm saying.
Harold, this is what I want to say to you too about LeBron in particular. If LeBron said he didn't want to come back because he was afraid of Corona, we probably wouldn't even hear about it. The league would just be canceled. They wouldn't come back because at the end of the day, LeBron is the one that's bringing in the views. LeBron is what's bringing in the money. So if he is the face of the league and he says he doesn't want to come back, I don't think the league is trying to bring it back in any type of capacity.
Nope, they wouldn't bring it back.
MJ can't keep Isaiah out of the dream team, right?
I mean, MJ can keep Isaiah out of the dream team, but the discussion was whether or not it was him that kept him out.
How do we get back?
There were several players
how do you think?
Not with Isaiah on the team.
Man, all it took was one error.
I think another potential con for the NBA coming back too. So let's say like finals, right? LeBron gets the coronavirus, God forbid, right? Then what happens? Let's say multiple players on the team gets infected.
Shut the whole thing down.
Games get forfeited.
Shut the whole thing down and give out rings.
If they make it to the finals, they would have to. It would be a forfeit.
Operation shutdown.
Honestly, the way that they said it, and I think this was way back, maybe like a month ago, when they were first thinking about coming back. They said if they do come back, they have no plans of stopping it once they start it. So like if somebody has corona or whatever, they just gotta go. But they're gonna continue. They're gonna do their best to crown the chip. So if it comes to the finals, just like when Kevin Durant messed up his Achilles, that's really what it's gonna be. Like you're gonna have.
So
to.
Then,
that's it.
I heard they're gonna have a few players on standby in case whoever tests for corona, whoever tests positive. They're gonna have a few players on standby, from what I heard.
These teams better these teams better really consider player, like Lamont said, players getting feeling some type of way and wanting to get out of that whole bubble, so they better really police those players, man.
They're not policing anybody. The NBA said that they're not going to police anybody.
Yeah, no, the NBA says, I'm talking about the organization.
Or the orgs.
Yeah, the orgs. Give it. They take that responsibility. That's why the NBA said, nah, it's not on us.
It's tough.
It's on y'all.
Tough. It's a tough situation because Mike Trout was talking about it the other day for the MLB. He was like, the traveling kind of helps too with the mental state, because when they do return, it's going to be just literally in one spot, one place all the time. They're not going to get to really go anywhere. So Mike Trout was like, oh, a lot of people don't think about the player side. A lot of people just want the sport to come back, but we're the ones dealing with, with this mental state that we really can't make any moves, can't do anything, and that's coming from Mike Trout, basically the MLB's biggest star,
At that point, for me, that's when you pick up books, you go to the gym, you work out, you work on your fundamental skills. I think like you do stuff to keep yourself busy. And
nigga, ball is life. These sports are these dudes' life, B.
Exactly. You see, that's coming from a fan's point of view.
Speaking of ball and speaking of bubble that they're going to be living in, you know who really got screwed from all of this? The Charlotte Hornets. Because they're only one win under the Washington Wizards, but if they were to go in, they would be 23 teams. So it's because there's no 24 teams that could go in, they're screwed.
Yeah, so how do you feel about it being unfair? Because I think
that's Jordan,
the reason why.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like that right there, like that would suck if you're trying to be, especially for Jordan, because you're trying to make sure that your franchise has a chance to make the playoffs, especially after they just got rid of their franchise player Kemba. I mean, that would be great for Jordan, and for the organization. But nah, 23, they gotta stay watching at 23 and 42. Meanwhile, the Wizards only up 24-40.
Honestly,
I feel bad for LeBron, because there's a good chance LeBron could win this year, and mad people are gonna do to LeBron what Yahoo are doing to Carl right now.
Asterisk.
What are they doing to Carl?
You got an asterisk on his championship.
Yo, but look at the bright side. I mean, but look at the crazier side
not the
about
fantasy
this.
league champion.
And I was telling,
I don't know. That's what
in Yahoo he is. He has a championship.
I was telling this to Jonah the other day. What if, because the Lakers were hitting their stride right before the coronavirus hit, and the city got shut down, and the NBA got shut down. The Lakers were hitting their stride, so getting ready for the playoffs. There was like a month left for the playoffs, and they were just hitting that spot that they wanted to be in. This whole stoppage, even though everybody stopped, but particularly them, they were getting on a little hot streak there. Now they're gonna come back. They might not be the same. The chemistry might not be the same. You feel me? You got, even though it's for everybody, but especially for them, because they were number one, and so much pressure is on LeBron. So imagine this layoff messes up the whole chemistry. Something it's not the same, basically. Honestly, so that's the downside. That's the bad side of the.
Honestly, I think like the experienced like top tier teams would have probably still been practicing even during this time. Maybe not together. I'm pretty sure LeBron probably sent freaking things for his teammates to be doing during this time, because he was confident that this season was coming back, and I know he definitely didn't stop working out. So I don't see a lot of those teams stopping. Unfortunately, I can see like my Sixers probably not getting that much team practice in there. I don't see the Bucks getting that much team practice in right now. Even though they're the number one seed, I just don't see it from that. The way that the team's organization feels, I don't see them doing that. I feel like that's more of like some of like the older teams, more experienced teams being in the finals and things like that, that are probably still found a way to get their players to do team practices other than their like individual workouts.
Well, I wanna address two things. Like first, what Miggs said about the Charlotte Hornets. I honestly think that they could have like brought in the Hornets. I don't think it would have been an issue if there was like a uneven type number because remember the last few teams they're gonna be doing like a play-in tournament. Like if you're 4 games within, if by the end of the 8 games that you're done playing, the 4 games, the last few teams, if you're 4 games within 8th place, you play a play-in tournament for that 8th spot. So you could have had 5, 6. You might end up having an uneven number of teams that are in the play-in tournament. I think really why they were left off. I think a lot of the bottom teams who are looking towards the draft said, "Hey, you know what? We're more interested in the draft. We don't need to come back. This is what we care about because we don't care about playoffs because us advancing in playoffs might actually hurt our lottery chances. So why don't you stop it right now?" In terms of like LeBron, what you were saying, I really do think that's really gonna affect them, the chemistry thing. Like you saw how the Lakers first started the NBA season, they were rusty, and a lot of teams was beating them, and then towards the end, they was beating the better teams. Like they had a really good win against the Bucks, and they had a really good win against the Clippers, which I think was what really pushed the narrative for LeBron possibly winning the MVP because he was beating those type teams. But I also think this really helps the Clippers because like Kawhi has gotten all this time off to rest off injuries. Also, Paul George too, who's coming back from like a shoulder injury.
Exactly, man. It's gonna be
time.
Yeah, man.
I think that really benefits them. And if you look at the type of team that the Clippers has versus the type of team that the Lakers have, the Lakers they're more built on skill, right? And the Clippers, they're more built on scrap. They have a lot of scrappy players who play with a lot of energy, who play on both sides, like Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams. These are like, even though Lou Williams is also a very skilled player, but they rely a lot on energy. And I think that's
got two. They got 2 energy players.
Yeah,
Pat Beverly, and Montrez.
And Montrez, yeah. And they're also good on defense. So now you bring back Paul George, who has a lot of time to rest on this injury, and you bring back Kawhi, who's also had a lot of time to rest on this injury. And you know how well Kawhi played in the playoffs because he utilized load management the way he did last year. I think this really benefits them.
Well, look, there's also, apart from the momentum issue, you also got to think about the home court advantage issue. It's going to be interesting to see how teams like, the Raptors, the Heat, the 76ers, even teams that are fighting in the hunt, the Kings, and also definitely the Lakers and the Bucks. How are they going to fare now that they don't have that energy from their home field? Because we all know that these are teams, there are teams out there that they usually just play better at home.
You guys are so uninformed. First of all, there will be that atmosphere because the NBA is using the real life sounds from NBA 2K.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Not official.
But is that an official fact?
That's not
official. Yes, they're talking with 2K right now to use that for the broadcast. But it makes sense because technically speaking, the sounds that you get from 2K are from the actual arenas because 2K goes around the arenas, records it.
Is that sound going to be for the players, or is that sound going to be for us?
No, it's going to be for us. It's going to be for us.
Exactly.
I was just joking.
Okay, I was going to say like
no.
Somebody's going to put it up. No, but they're going to be playing alone, so it's going to be they're not going to hear it. Then that's actually
I have an interesting thing they can do.
Are you gonna put a CGI around the players too?
No, for home court home court advantage, right? It could be like how they do in football. You flip a coin, and whoever wins, that team gets to control the playlist.
I mean, anything but the fact that they're gonna be playing now with no music, no crowd, no energy.
No, they'll have music. That's why the home team gets to choose the playlist.
That's gonna suck too. That's gonna suck too for the players because they play for the home court advantage, man.
It's definitely gonna.
Some teams depend. The crowd is their 6th man. You feel me? Or their defensive stopper or
at the foul line.
You feel me? So this is gonna affect.
Yeah, I think it's gonna affect OKC.
I mean, listen, man. I'm just glad it's back.
OKC's another
man.
team right there. Raptors. It'll definitely affect your Sixers. The Lakers. Gonna affect the Lakers.
No, it's gonna kill me.
It's the Bucks.
We forgot how to win, not at home. Don't we still have like the best home record? It should get on my nerves.
But I heard they're gonna do something to kind of implement that home court experience.
Oh, you know what they should do, but it's a horrible idea.
We're gonna change the stage, the platform.
They should have.
They're just gonna switch the court. That really means nothing.
I just thought of an idea. It's stupid, but so the stands could all just be screens, and you can have the option while you're live streaming the game to stream yourself, so you can reflect to the players that you're watching the game as well. So it's like a big Zoom call, but for the players.
I'm with what Miggs said. Just put them all, just dress them all green in green suits, and have them play green on a green.
Just straight up, you're just seeing people go crazy and everything, but they're not there. But at least for us that are watching it, because
that's an unfair advantage to LeBron because he's already been doing that for Looney Tunes thing for Space Jam. LeBron's already got practice.
The best 5-on-5 game pickup games that we've ever seen in our lives. But one thing that that is interesting now is the fact with all the layoffs. Just players, like you mentioned, Paul George, Kawhi, they had like little injuries like that. But what about big guys? What about we already know Kevin Durant's not coming back, but DeMarcus Cousins is out there.
Oh yeah. They said he might go to what team?
They're saying that
I'm hearing the Lakers and
not Lakers. No,
I
heard the Lakers early on, but not now.
He could be going over to the Lakers, but then they also said that they might switch over to either the Raptors or the Bucks.
It was the Raptors.
I heard the Raptors. I don't think the Lakers. I think they saw enough of what they have that they don't need DeMarcus Cousins. You feel me? I think they saw what they need. I think they need a playmaker, another playmaker.
Yeah.
They just got Waiters, didn't they?
Yeah. They got Waiters.
Waiters is not a playmaker.
They got Waiters. They only got Waiters because he's a dog.
Waiters is one gummy bear away from China basketball.
One gummy bear away.
He's a dog, so he don't back down, and you need those type of players in the NBA in the playoffs. So I think that was a good signing. His contribution, that I don't know about. I heard he's in great shape right now, though.
It's very interesting because right now, even with all these players coming back, and let's just say the fact that they don't, not a lot of them are going to have really. It's going to be kind of a more competitive experience because it's kind of going to be more like a street ball tournament, just stand out in 3 months, But so you have to think about as well as it's a problem for the older players and things like that. What about the young scrappy teams like this? What if we see Chris Paul and the Oklahoma Thunder, just cut through the West and make it to the finals, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Miami Heat also.
Is Shai Gilgeous the chosen one?
I don't know.
It's basically if the Lakers and the Clippers don't meet in the Western Conference Finals, this idea was a dub. Basically.
But that's the beauty of it. It's right now, the last time there was a strike or there was a shortened season, the Knicks went from 8th place to the fucking finals. And if the only reason why we never make a big deal out of that is because it's the New York Knicks. It honestly is, because that is a very big feat. But what if teams now, teams are on the bubble, even what if Orlando, just because for some reason they're playing in an area close to them, they feel like they got home court experience and they ride to the finals. It's it's gonna get if everybody comes back and everybody practices and play, it's gonna get pretty.
But we're forgetting
very competitive.
We're also forgetting that this is not the playoffs. The NBA playoffs aren't like the NFL playoffs. That is just one game. It's really the best out of 7. So it's gonna be hard to get it's really hard to get a fluke. Usually in the NBA, the best team moves on.
I don't know. I think it might be different this time around because it depends on how you were conditioning during the quarantine. I feel like we're going
And
to see a
also
lot of
momentum.
I feel like
got
we're going to see a lot of
momentum
players
going on now. You know,
what on top of
if right now younger players look at a team like Miami, who they're young, who literally like half of their team is like, you know, like under only like 2 to 4 seasons in. Yo, they go over and they get their act together and they just go in. I mean, they could take over. You're telling me that they're gonna lose out to these older people, you know, like older teams, you know, like like, you know, they have potential to run through those. The young teams right now might be the favorites, really.
Like with the Nuggets, they're saying that Jokic has abs now. Like they're saying he's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
and that might change his whole dynamic of how he plays on the court. So I feel like when the exhibition games start, you're gonna really start seeing players that were taking care of themselves during the quarantine and players that weren't. And they're not even drug testing. They're not gonna test for marijuana. So
yeah, they're not drug testing.
That might be a game changer in itself too.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Who do you guys think has the advantage now that there's no crowd and they're gonna be able to hear everybody talking? And you know, some dudes are loud, some, you know, like, you know, Chris Paul talks the whole game. Like this guy was saying that Gary Payton basically controlled the entire
They're not gonna
game.
They're not gonna put that on. They can't put that.
They're not gonna put that on TV.
That's a very good question. A lot of, you know,
crowds, so you know, they're gonna be able. It's gonna be basically like a practice game. So basically. I think that changes a lot, you know? I think that changes a lot.
Beware of the team that has a lot of veterans on their bench.
Exactly.
Now they could be very vocal. They could be 5th, 6th, and 7th coaches now. You know.
But they're not gonna air that, man. It's too risky.
What are you talking about?
When they're playing ball, them dudes talk a lot of crazy stuff, man. There's a reason why.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying we're gonna be able to hear it.
So
Which
then
is
what's
what I'm saying. It's going to be like a street ball type atmosphere. It's going to be like a gym, a pickup game atmosphere. That's what it's going to be. You know, where like, you know, the people on the bench are going to be vocal. They're going to be, you know, they could be general. You could have one person literally, you know, your center, your big old guard, you know, calling the shots when it's coming down the block, calling things out. You know, everybody's going to have that advantage, sure. But I'm just saying is that now you have to take that into play. That's why it sucks. Like a team like the Spurs, when they lost Aldridge for the season, because if you figure this is the type of game where they could come in and they could have ran the tables on them too if they would have made it in, of course. You know, but it's going to be very interesting. You know, that's why, like, you know, where DeMarcus Cousins goes is going to play a big role because he's a veteran big man that's very loud and vocal. So he's not going to have a chance to, you know, kind of like be a general from the bench too. A lot of teams that got that.
No, man.
I think some teams need it and some teams don't. So like I feel like a team like the Clippers, they might not need a loud person when your best player is a quiet guy. So if he goes in there like everybody, we're just gonna be focused, then they don't really benefit off of the advantage of another team who needs someone to rile them up and to like pick up that energy.
Patrick Beverly will be the focal voice for the Clippers on and off the court.
I think Beverly's gonna be bothering whoever he's on. I think that's gonna be his focus. I don't think he's gonna be telling, "Oh, yo, Kawhi, you go over there. Oh, Paul George, you go over there." He's not gonna be doing that. He's gonna be focused on whoever is his target. Yeah, and in terms of the cursing or whatever, I think what they might do is they might do like maybe a 1 minute delay, and then they're gonna have like the one person that's there that's just gonna be like, you know, bleeping off or taking off any possible curses. That's something that's very easy for them to take care of.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna be all mic'd up like that. I don't think they're gonna have I don't think they're gonna have the ground mic'd up like the way they have it in the actual arenas. And even so, there might be like a slight delay, but they'll have the 2K sounds to drown that out.
Yeah. Yeah, they're actually gonna put. I hope they update their sounds, man.
Update their sounds from what? It's gonna be the same sounds. It's gonna be the same sounds you heard this season, last season from 2K.
But it's the crowd. It's the crowd only, and the crowd only, right?
Bro,
yeah, it's just a crowd. It's just a crowd.
Yo, interesting topic. What do you guys think about you know, next season? Next season coming up. I hear they trying to
it's fucked up.
You know, pretty much cram everything in, like 82 games in like 6 months.
Yo, if you go to Game 7 in the finals, 50 days later is the start of the next season. It's opening day. 50 days later. That's crazy to me.
2 months and change.
That's crazy to me.
1 month and change.
It effectively means that whoever makes it the farthest in the playoffs will have literally zero resting.
And it means
to go and try to defend their crown.
All these teams that are resting right now, they got lots of rest. They got
exactly a dude like Trae Young, Colin Sexton, them dudes.
The Golden State Warriors will return.
2 years off.
Will return to the playoffs or to the NBA elite. Just off of things like that. You know,
imagine Kyrie and KD are getting all this
KD
rest,
is gonna.
For next
yeah,
that's crazy.
There's another team, the Nets. Right now, they're just
imagine the Warriors holding back with the first pick. Imagine they get the first pick.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, don't be surprised. They coming back in December. Don't be surprised if LeBron comes back on Christmas.
Oh, Carl, is the Knicks getting LaMelo?
Oh man, I don't even put my hopes up on these drafts anymore. Because
honestly, I think they should. If they have the chance, I think they should take them.
Yeah, they would need like the first or the second pick in order to draft them.
They can get that. What's their record this year?
Bro, remember they changed the lottery rules.
So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the lowest 3 teams have the same chance of getting the number 1 pick. And it's a very low percentage.
I'd like to apologize for all the teams who were trash, but not by choice. Because my team was trash by choice and ruined it all for you.
It up for us.
I know, it ruined it all for you. No. I am so sorry.
No, honestly, because before them, people were trash by choice, but they didn't just broadcast it. Y'all had like a whole.
We were open about it. They said, look. Fuck these rules. We're gonna abuse them, and we're gonna get.
That messed us up because the year that they put it in was the year that the Knicks had the worst record for the first time. They had the worst record, and they could have had Zion, or at least John Morant.
My team got the players that we needed. Like either they're gonna work together and we're gonna be great, or one of them is gonna leave and we're still gonna be great. Like
we're gonna have to trade them because
I personally don't believe that next season is gonna go 82 games.
I
don't think so.
That's what they're pushing for.
Look, Miggs, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. No, they want 82 games. They don't want to go. The amount. Look, even without a pandemic, the amount of money that the NBA loses, not going a full 82 games is way too much money the NBA is comfortable with.
Oh no, I totally agree with that. But then at the same time, you have to look at it this way: 82 games from December 21st. Thinking that you're gonna try to end the season, kind of like around June, July-ish at least. That's literally they play the NBA right now. Nobody plays 5 games a week. In 1 week.
They fought for that, but they're gonna have to do it, and that's what the NBA is pushing right now. What I think that they're gonna do is they're gonna have like 1 or 2 months that are fucking hell, and then they're gonna try and ease it into like how the season works normally, but that's still gonna create an issue. They're gonna need to do that early on so that if there are any injuries, there's a possibility that they're gonna come back.
The quality of the games are going to be low then, because if you're doing 82 game season like this short and condensed, that means that there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be resting, and rightfully so. So that means
I know.
Bench is going to have to pick up. So then you're going to have the 6th, 7th, and 8th, 9th, 10th man, out there, for like 10, 15
one
minutes.
Thing that they have to consider too is the fact that with this whole coronavirus and the pandemic thing, a lot of these players, these teams are going to be stuck in one location. So that's going to be a crazy thing in terms of like scheduling, because you don't want these teams traveling that much. So how are you going to do the 82 season in a condensed season as well with less months, and then also worrying about traveling too?
I think they'll be fine with traveling because most the teams fly private. They have their own accommodations for flight and things like that. Yeah. But the issue is, another reason why they are going to keep the 82 games is because they're most likely not going to get that much money from like ticket sales anymore. Like I don't see a lot of the arenas being full, and I could be wrong because there are a lot of idiots in America, but I don't see, at least for like the first 2 months of the NBA, I don't see a lot of people going to the actual games.
The
Not for
NBA,
those prices that they're giving in some states.
the NBA needs to cut the crap and have this season, the plan that they have in place with the 22 teams, start the next season 50 days later, like they said, December 1st, play until April, have your playoffs, have a shortened season, fuck the 82 games, because they need to think about the players, man. They only think about that money, man.
One of the things that's messing that they really had a battle with was Christmas. They wanted to make sure they played during Christmas. That's why they're starting it so early.
They want to build it up to. They want to build it up to Christmas, but they
exactly.
They should just start on Christmas.
That's one of the things, you know. They wanted to make sure that they were already hot and seasoned up for Christmas.
Yeah. They want to make sure that they already got some type of chemistry.
That's one of the reasons that they're starting back up so quick, because of that Christmas money. Christmas is, you know, basketball is Christmas, you know, LeBron versus T-Mac beating on the Knicks, you know, on Christmas, all that good stuff.
I feel you, man.
I mean, it's one of those things that they just have to consider. The fact that they might burn out their players, you know, very much so. And at the same time, it's gonna see how deep is every team's bench, because again, you're gonna have people that normally don't play, you know, play only like 4 to 8 minutes a game. You know, now they're gonna be asked to play, you know, 18 or 22 minutes a game. You know, that could be good for some reason. It could bring out some stars. It'll definitely, you know, that extra playing time, you know, will show what you can offer, if not your current organization, a future organization. So it should help you, you know, in free agency, things like that.
I feel like it will really help a lot of the G League players, because a lot of times, like, you could pick them up on a random 10-day contract or a 2-way contract. So yeah, that will help them a lot too. But I'm excited to see how it will impact fantasy. Right? Like, if they have a condensed season, 82 games, you know, like teams playing 5 games a week. Like,
that's fantasy heaven. Sounds like fantasy heaven to me.
Yeah, fantasy
heaven for
until them injuries start happening.
Or not a great fantasy heaven for picking up franchise players. Like LeBron, you know, would drop from top 5 to top 50, because you know he's not going to play 82 games within like 3-4 months.
You still don't take LeBron top 5 no matter what. Kawhi is going to be one of those players that's even more frustrating to have. You got players like, who else? Jimmy Butler.
I would play once a week.
Jimmy Butler once a week.
I would play once to twice a week. That's about it.
And
still go in the playoffs and take the team to a championship.
Kawhi's like, forget your stats. I'm coming for chips.
Yo, and then the rookies with this long, like those rookies in the bad teams with the long layoff coming back. You saw them as rookies. They're gonna come back as juniors and shit. You know, for as long as you haven't seen them, these dudes are gonna come back looking like veterans, man.
RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox.
Yeah, Kevin Knox, all those guys, they're gonna come back looking a little different, man, because this quarantine, we're not thinking about it, but it might have hit some players differently, you know. Some players might have gained weight, some players might have lost weight, some players might have, you know, who knows, might have picked up habits. Who knows?
Also, too, a lot of these players have been watching the 10-part documentary of the greatest player to ever play, and I think that would inspire some players to be like, yo, you know what? This is what I gotta do. This is the level of intensity that I gotta come with.
Who do you think's gonna be who do you think right now has the best shot at making the finals from each conference?
Lakers and the Sixers.
Clippers. I don't know who's coming out the East.
Hey, Lakers and the fucking Bucks.
Right now,
I told you who's coming out the East. The Sixers.
Lakers. I would say
Lakers. That niggas is disrespectful.
I think the Sixers might have a shot.
I think they have
a better shot than
the Bucks. Thank you.
Come on, how you gonna say
they have a better shot than the Bucks? Because at the end of the day, with the Bucks problem is always gonna be this. they have to.
Bro,
they're gonna
Ben
have to
Simmons
play
is
a
done.
team.
Ben
Ben
Simmons
Simmons
is
is
done,
not
bro.
done.
Lamar, how you gonna say?
He's there. He's back.
How is Ben
How you
Simmons
gonna
done?
say?
Those
How
are
you gonna
back
say?
problems, man. Back problems always linger.
How you gonna say the Sixers are gonna come out the East when their own fans don't even trust Embiid to stay in the fucking bubble?
Look,
Assuming everybody stays in the bubble, I mean, you have to consider.
I said people like him.
Giannis could shoot a three better than Ben Simmons.
Definitely.
And
But Giannis has to deal with. But Giannis has Middleton and Brook Lopez on his team. Whereas the 76ers, they've got Tobias Harris, they've got they've got Ben Simmons, they've got a big three. They have a big three, and it could be even a big.
Philadelphia can win it all, bro.
I'm telling you right now that the Bucks' problem when it comes down to it is that at the end of the day, you need somebody, a number two, to step up, and Chris Middleton's not that guy.
Yeah.
He's just.
Y'all act like
they don't have a number two in Philadelphia either.
Y'all act like Kawhi didn't just steal
our.
You act like Kawhi didn't steal our championship.
Ben Simmons is number two. And then they got Tobias Harris, the most reliable, one of the most reliable players out there in the league today.
They got Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris.
They don't know who they want to run the team through.
Yes, they do.
And Al Horford. Can we forget that? We forget
what you mean? What you mean?
They got four horsemen. What are you talking about?
Carl,
No, Philadelphia's a problem.
Different positions.
And then now they got Shake Milton, and they're gonna put Shake Milton in the starting five as well. Bro, they definitely got several scoring options on that team.
And I'm not convinced by the 76ers.
I'm not
even.
either.
Says the Knicks fan.
That's the thing about it.
Come at you like that, Carl.
They have a shot to get in there.
The Sixers is a team that you got to beat on them now, because if they ever click together and they stay together long enough,
I don't see them
be crazy.
Yeah, that team.
Simmons is only going to get better.
Stay together for 3 years. Stay for 3 years now. To say, you know what? No matter what,
Embiid is only going to get better.
If they can keep them together,
they'll win the championship. They'll win the championship.
If they can keep them together, but in the era that we're in,
but the only reason Philadelphia has a really good team, the only reason I would say that they're not going to make it out the East is because teams like Milwaukee, I believe teams like Milwaukee are more ready than they are to make the finals appearance. And also Toronto.
That may be true with home court advantage, but I don't think so now.
We've beaten Milwaukee. The only issue is that the Sixers need to just work on their consistency. Like, it's not like
exactly.
They're
not fully ready.
It's not. But I'm saying like Milwaukee isn't that big of a threat to the. The biggest threat to the Sixers in terms of the East is the Sixers
and the Heat.
Oh,
you could say that about Milwaukee too.
Not really. Like Milwaukee
can beat the Sixers.
No, but when you look at when you look at the games that Milwaukee won against the Sixers.
Better than Giannis.
No, when you look at
Milwaukee went on a crazy streak. They have the best defensive team.
No, but what I'm saying,
only won 39 games. Milwaukee won 53.
Okay, but my
that's not no. I'm talking about the matchup. I'm talking about the matchup. The Sixers, when the Sixers lost to the Milwaukee, it hasn't been by that much. But when we beat Milwaukee, it's been by a lot. And for those games, it's because either one, Ben Simmons wasn't contributing, or Embiid wasn't contributing for whatever reason.
There's a reason why they weren't contributing. Milwaukee has one of the best defenses, bro. They're all around.
The Sixers have one of the best. The Sixers have one of the best defenses.
Bucks have
from a scoring standpoint, you have to give
Bucks
it.
Bucks are number one defensive team.
You have to give it over.
Bucks are number one defense, right?
That's very understandable.
My thing with the Bucks is if you take away Greek, then what? I feel like in the last
playoffs,
the previous playoffs, they had Malcolm Brogdon as their second lead scorer on that team, right? And then you have outbursts from like a Brook Lopez and whatnot. Their second best player is Chris Middleton, right? So if you lock up Greek and force him to do what the Raptors forced him to do in the last
jumpers.
I think they're so deep.
Take jumpers and 3-pointers.
I think they're so deep now with George Hill off the bench. With George Hill off the bench and that rookie they got and Pat Connaughton and what's his name?
Those are the guys DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo is a real beast, bro. Don't sleep on that rookie, man.
Take over a game, bro. I don't know. And then Eric Bledsoe is like on the decline too.
You're right about that. They're not that poised to make a crazy impact. DiVincenzo's a rookie. And Pat Connaughton is just a real, basically a dunker. But they have some veteran key pieces. And George Hill, the Lopez brothers, they have the Lopez brothers, bro.
Yeah,
And,
George Hill, the
Bledsoe
man who missed the free throw
Bledsoe.
and made
Smith
JR the Smith the scapegoat for his
He's
mistake.
been there before.
They got
Exactly.
The man who missed
They
a
got
free throw and
Adrian
shortened the
Wojnarowski.
lifespan of LeBron James. How upset he
He's
was.
been there.
Archie
He's
Williams.
been there.
But he couldn't let him
Well, they
know
got
how bad he was
Wesley
because he was on
Matthews.
national TV.
He's
You know, they got
consistent at what
Wesley
he does.
Matthews,
George
they
Hill
got
is consistent
Ian
at what he
Sobo.
does. And they have Bledsoe, a defensive point guard, hence why they have one of the best defensive teams. Bledsoe's a defensive point guard. Greek is just a defensive freak. The
Defensive
Lopez
player of the
brothers.
year.
So I'm sorry. So in terms of defensive point guards, if you had to choose, you're choosing Bledsoe over Ben Simmons for a defensive point guard.
Nah.
Okay.
But
That's what it because that's what it sounded like you were saying. I just had to clarify.
But
Look, there are
Bledsoe's a
just some
sneaky
teams
point guard.
in
Bledsoe
playoffs in a
gets his.
7-game series.
Bledsoe isn't doing shit. Bledsoe isn't doing shit against Ben
Listen.
Simmons.
7-game
We'll see.
series,
I don't
5-game
know. Let's
series,
see. I'm gonna
playoff
check the
series,
stats on
period.
that.
Yeah, I'm about to
Even
check
with
the
the playoff series,
I'm gonna check the
you're
stats on
dealing
that,
with, you
Lamar.
have to play players, you have to play the same team over and over and over again. So, sure,
Why
maybe
would you on the
Milwaukee
bus?
looks amazing, when they're playing there, and they have a great defensive team, no doubt. But for 7 games, they're going to have to try to outscore offensive teams. And at the end of the day, you gotta, if you go with talent, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for Milwaukee, to get out the East, because they have there's a lot of talented teams that are out there.
Better team.
You think they have the better team?
I think they have the better team.
You think
honestly.
Milwaukee has a better team than 76ers?
I can't see that.
Chemistry wise, yes.
Coaching, I'll give them that, yes. But
Chemistry wise and coaching, yes.
You're not
how? Let's go player to player. How?
Deep. They're just more deep.
Yeah, but you're not going player by player. You're talking about.
Yeah, no, we're talking about like as a team, their makeup and their chemistry. I agree. I believe that.
Who's gonna stop Embiid though on that team?
Embiid's gonna get hurt.
He's not gonna get hurt.
You don't know.
You can say the same thing about Eric Bledsoe.
Come on, you're adding the fact of what could haves and what ifs. I'm just talking about if they all played, 7-game series and they're
if the Sixers play the way they win that they should, they destroy the Milwaukee, because whenever the Sixers are playing the way they should, they've destroyed Milwaukee.
The Raptors beat the 76ers with a defense.
Ben Simmons.
You act like that shot is 100% makeable all the time. They lost. It was a great shot. I'm not gonna look. I was salty about it, but you're not gonna sit here and act. You're not gonna sit here and act like. No, of course I was. Like I almost broke my phone. You're not gonna sit here and act like that shot is going in 9 out of 10 times. It's not.
Bro, it went in when it mattered.
No, yeah, and it did. I don't put an asterisk to
Miami
Kawhi's thing. All I say is Kawhi stole a ring from the 76ers, but he earned it.
Miami's another.
I do agree that Kawhi
definitely has talent. It's a matchup problem. It's a matchup problem. Milwaukee's going to go in. First of all, Milwaukee lost all their momentum. They also lost home court advantage. So those two things, propel Milwaukee got Milwaukee to where they are today. So you're now going to go play against. You don't have. It's just a bad matchup with a lot of teams in the East for Milwaukee to try to come out of. For Milwaukee to try to come out of there. They're going to have to basically hope, that the playoff landscape works in their favor, and they play a lot of teams that they just match up better against. But I'm telling you right now, they run into they run into Philadelphia in 7 games, especially a team Philadelphia that just lost by 1 bucket to Kawhi the following year. That they have a little incentive. You also got guys like Al Horford and Tobias Harris that they have a little incentive. Dude, they're gonna.
He hasn't been playing the best this season.
They're gonna beat them. They're gonna beat them in 7. They're gonna beat them in 7.
I don't see Al Horford.
I love Al Horford, but I did not like that.
Yeah,
that's the best signing y'all could have done. Honestly,
that's the best signing y'all could have done. Let me tell you, you have
got
on
the only thing that could ever stop them
athletic big players. Dude, that is design. That was great, and he meshes well. Like he's gonna be what Butler, I guess couldn't be. I guess because he was just too, competitive and stuff like that. But
Tobias Harris is a good player.
No, I like the Tobias. I like
But
Tobias
Al
Harris.
Horford, I don't know.
But the Al Horford, like, understand they wanted to get like one of Embiid's biggest obstacles out the way, but there are better ways to do that.
I don't know. I
all
think
that money.
I think you guys aren't giving Horford a chance.
No, I like
fail to-
Horford. I
fail
still
to
think
see
he's good for
where
the
Al
team.
Horford,
I just don't think that
lacked in his
contract
career.
was.
Especially now that you're making him an official fourth player on your team. I mean, I think he's good enough to be, like top 3 on anybody's team. But now you're putting that pressure off and putting him 4.
Horford is good. Horford is a great defensive player.
Horford is good.
Horford's a double-double guy.
Only
I had him too.
That was Embiid's kryptonite, bro. You gotta love that move, man. That was Embiid's kryptonite. Horford literally used to put Embiid on his ass, bro.
Yeah, but not for that money, not for that long.
All right, but what about who else?
Yeah,
what do you think of Toronto? What do you think of the Magic's chances?
Man,
Why are we talking about the Magic?
They were picking up momentum, man.
Wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the kicker: the Magic have home court advantage, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, they could bring
Magic
back
won
McGrady. Bro, they could bring back McGrady, Penny, and Shaq, and they still ain't winning nothing.
Dwight, Penny, Shaq, Nick Anderson, all the greats.
Damn, he said Nick Anderson. Damn, that's.
So let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this. This is actually a better question. What about the West? Because right now the West is like it's like a free for all for that 8th place.
I still think. Oh, for the 8th place. Oh, for number 1, I still
count
think
out Memphis. Memphis can make some real noise.
I want Memphis to win it because I like Zion. I just want for people who still, even though Zion isn't eligible for rookie league, I want people to put more props to Ja. That's why I want them to make it.
So do I. But let me play devil's advocate. But what if?
Shut up, Mike.
What if the Pelicans chase them down and actually come in 8th?
If they do, then again, that's gonna help.
Now we know that he can't get it. He can't get rookie of the year. But if the Pelicans were to go to the playoffs in his rookie season, I mean,
it's Ja's rookie season too.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. What if the Pelicans, they have every chance to get in there as well? So they get in there, that's gonna, first of all, it's gonna be big for just the organization itself going into next season.
If they do, I hope that, even though I can see him folding, I hope Silver doesn't fold and the rookie of the year still goes to Ja. But I could see if I still wouldn't even be mad at him if he did fold to like the pressure to get Zion to be rookie of the year if Zion ends up making it to the playoffs.
I think they should really consider co-rookie.
They shouldn't. No, okay. If he folds to fans wanting Zion to get it, then they should do co-rookie of the year. But I feel like he shouldn't fold. I feel like they should stick to the rules for that.
Yeah,
one.
I feel like they should either give it to even though I said my point in other podcasts that Zion should get it, but if they don't give it to Zion, if they don't give it to both, they should give it to Ja. If they don't give it to both, they should give it to Ja.
I agree with that, B. They can't just give it to Zion, honestly.
No.
They can't just give it to Zion. If they give it to Zion, NBA doesn't support Black Lives Matter.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that Western Conference
putting another black man against another black man. You right?
Listen, that Western Conference is gonna be sick. Because I'll tell you right now, a team like the Pelicans, the youth and talent that they got, they go into the playoffs.
You know who would be sick? AD would be sick if the Pelicans.
He would throw up if they were to meet and then they actually beat them. That would be such karma.
AD would never be allowed. AD would never be allowed to go back to New Orleans, not even for vacation.
Honestly, look, I mean, the reality is, the Lakers.
True, or Los Angeles.
Listen, the reality is, to me, in my opinion, the Clippers have the best chance to win the championship this season. They have.
I still think
talent,
Lakers.
They have the depth. They have the coaching experience. They have the veteran players. I think they're the full package, and it's really up to whether or not the Lakers could actually overcome them. But I gotta tell you, you take that aside, it would just be very interesting. And I feel that this is the type of season where just the crazy things happen, and what we thought was going to happen, like a Milwaukee or Lakers or Milwaukee and Clippers finals, is not going to happen. I feel like there's a very good chance that those three teams won't be in the finals. None of those three teams.
It's going to be Toronto, and Memphis. I'm telling you.
No, it's going to be the It's going to be the Sixers and the Lakers.
Hey,
it could be the Pelicans if they go in. Because all I'm saying is this: I would love it would be very good if the Pelicans somehow squeak in and they just get matched up somewhere down the road with the Lakers. Oh my God,
that would be amazing.
The
that might happen in the first round. Actually, that might happen in the
first round type stuff.
That might be the first round.
That might happen in the first round, right?
Play in the first round.
The Laker rejects going for
the Laker rejects, the exiled. The exiles.
All I'm saying is the Lakers need to sweep them if that happens. You don't want them taking the game.
The Pelicans are definitely get one game.
No, I believe they will, but I'm saying for like morale, the Lakers need to sweep them.
Lamont, remember a lot of those players. Remember when LeBron left them on the bench? He didn't even want to sit next to him on the bench.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think the Pelicans are at least going to take them to 6 games. But I said for morale, the Lakers needed to sweep them.
I gotta tell you, just to see that happen, I'm kind of hoping, I'm kind of rooting for the Pelicans hard. Just to see that.
If the Pelicans were to win,
I kind of want that.
I'd be like, yo, Zion, the new GOAT, the new face of the league. Honestly, bro.
I can't see that happening at all because just LeBron, the way LeBron kind of handled Zion in their last meeting or two. The way he played against him, he has the upper hand mentally.
He still had his baby man weight. Wait till he gets his man.
Hey, that's not this year though.
I know.
He might have, Yeah, soon. Hey, Zion can only get bigger, man. This dude is.
He doesn't need to get bigger.
He might even, he might have to slim down and get. Imagine if he slims down, get some speed, some more handles.
What he needs to do is he needs to buddy up with LeBron and then train with him.
Yeah. Hey, H, you're muted, H.
Zion and RJ Barrett are friends from Duke, so
yeah,
he might go to the Knicks.
RJ Barrett is a scrub. I'm saying this right
what?
now.
Get out of here.
RJ Barrett's a scrub.
What?
You had him on your team and he was blessing.
What?
I was trying to trade him.
You were so disrespectful.
I drafted him, and it was one of the worst decisions
all year fantasy.
He's one of the reasons. He's one of the reasons. He's one of the main reasons. My team, my awesome teams that I draft. I'm basically, Carl. You can verify this that I'm almost at Mike too, Miko too. He can attest to this that I'm always in the top somewhere. RJ Barrett ruined that for me this season.
You forget who RJ Barrett had on his team.
It's not
Julius Randle.
Some might say Kevin Porter Jr. is a better RJ Barrett.
His percentages were horrible.
Yeah. Who? RJ Barrett?
Yeah, RJ Barrett.
Exactly my point. The kid is a scrub.
I mean, to his defense, though, you're playing on the Knicks and you're forced to throw up lots of shots, or you have the opportunity. Yeah. You have the green light to throw up all the shots you want. So
Miggs, you're actually right. Go ahead.
They don't have a real point guard to set you up and to make the game easy for you. But I'm looking at your team right now. I don't even see RJ Barrett on your team. But you got Frank Ntilikina on your team. No wonder your team.
The GOAT, Frank Ntilikina.
The French GOAT.
James Harden for I don't know who. So that's why your team sucks. You got James Butler on your team.
Oh man, Carl's just going straight for the juggler tonight. What the heck? And they do got a real point. They do got a point.
I got RJ Barrett. I have RJ Barrett in FIBA, and I ended up trading him for who? For that young kid from the Chicago Bulls with the big hair.
Cody White.
Kobe White.
Oh,
which was one of the best trades ever because Kobe White was balling. Don't get me wrong. RJ Barrett started picking it up a little towards the end. I'm not going to say he's a full-blown scrub because maybe part of the reason why he's not developing great is because he has bad leaders. Julius Randle.
Julius, think about that. Well, he has Taj Gibson and Julius Randle as his pets.
Exactly, Julius Randle.
I thought RJ Barrett was having a good season this year.
I mean, if you're making that assumption from like the eye exam, but if you look at the stats, the percentages.
Exactly. If you get to the nitty gritty, it doesn't look great.
Like I said, you're shooting guard with the New York Knicks, and you're playing with the 2019-2020 New York Knicks.
But they got a service.
You have a green light. You have a green light. If I was him, I would shoot it from half court. I would just start shooting from the first half, just from half court.
I feel like
if you watch RJ Barrett, he have a green light. I feel like RJ Barrett's the first coach that he kept like changing up the lineup. Like he had Julius Randle running point guard.
Who's the first coach?
Fizdale. And then
the chosen one, Fizdale.
They switched up after like 20 games. So that's kind of hard for like a rookie just coming in to already have two coaches.
I feel like RJ Barrett's game. I feel like RJ Barrett's game is I'm not gonna compare it to Sexton, but I compare the skill set to like a old school skill set. They're not part of the 3-point revolution that's going on right now.
Yeah, I
agree. But he shoots to stop them in college.
He can shoot. He can take a three, but he's not one of those gunslingers. Those
he's a shooting guard. No, he's a shooting guard. He's like
all right.
He's like an old school shooting guard.
What's his ceiling? All right,
he's an old school shooting guard.
I see him as a DeRozan with better passing ability.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I see him as.
DeRozan?
Yeah.
DeRozan don't shoot threes. He's just a mid-range.
Bro, DeRozan?
He's mid-range and drive, and that's what RJ Barrett is great at. And he can pass.
Yeah, Livingston, and he finishes.
Yeah,
really
Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston,
He's very strong.
Yeah, that's why I kind of compare him to Sexton, because Sexton got that drive. He's a driver, mid-range shooter, and he's gonna develop the passing later on. That's why I compare him to.
RJ's actually a really good passer.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Can we all just say that it's going to be a very scary thing if Golden State Warriors gets the first pick in the draft?
Yeah, because either they're going to get a really good player or they're going to trade that first pick for a really good player.
For Kevin Durant.
They're going to get him back.
That'll be great.
I'm looking over.
I don't think KD has a no trade clause.
That could make it. They have obviously the biggest advantage. The other team is the Cavs. But just even if if the Warriors just get top 3, if they just get top 3, like they you gotta consider them a really strong threat coming in for the next season for sure now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Golden State, they go as far as Clay goes. As far as Clay's health. That's
but he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back playing.
Clay would have been back.
Curry's gonna be back playing. They're gonna have a Wiggins. They're gonna have Wiggins. That's gonna be interesting how they all play. And then Draymond's gonna be back. I hope. So
Draymond is washed. Draymond is officially washed. I don't know if you saw him play the last few times.
Also have Willie Cauley-Stein too.
Draymond been washed for a minute.
They got Cauley-Stein still.
Yeah. And then
they got Kevin Looney if he could ever get his health.
Lamar said, man, Draymond was washed when he won his last championship.
He was.
He rode the coattail to his last championship.
Draymond is a franchise player.
No, he's not.
That's who is lying to this man? It must be his mom. Like he had his mom in that commercial with him, so she must be lying to him.
I could see the argument.
How?
I could see the argument.
Nah, he's not no franchise. He's not no franchise player.
Look, for what he means to the Warriors,
he is a good player. I feel like he is someone who low key could be a really good coach down the line, but in terms of him being a franchise player, no.
In the Warriors.
Bro, Draymond is not gonna be an all-star ever.
Only in that Lamont, only in that franchise. I'm not
He is the general on the floor.
I'm not talking about you could
know,
put
like,
him in any franchise and he'll be the franchise player. Nah,
He's
only
not a franchise
in the
player.
Warriors.
You can't be. I'm sorry. You can't be a franchise player and only be
good
for
on one
one
team.
franchise.
He's a Golden State Warriors franchise player.
No, that's not a franchise
You
player.
don't build the team around.
He's gonna be. Wait, hold on for a minute. Yes, he is.
You build a team around Draymond.
Before they won the championship, they won a championship as a big three. They won a championship as a big three, guys.
Harold, but you could replace Draymond easily, bro.
Exactly.
On the Golden
State
Warriors.
Yo, they won. That's true. Yo, they won a championship as a big three.
You can replace him.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
players that do what Draymond does.
They all.
I don't know.
Look, at the end of the day, is Draymond going to be retired? Is his jersey going to be put in the rafters for the Golden State Warriors?
Yes.
Who does? Who does what
he
Draymond
is a franchise player.
That doesn't make him a franchise player.
Doesn't make him a franchise
player.
player.
Hold on for a minute. Guys, stop right there. I want you guys to just stop sipping the Kool-Aid real quick. Guys, listen to what you guys are saying. There are about 12 to 14 players a team every season, and not all of them get their jerseys retired and hosted up in the rafters.
They're not retiring.
So if you do that, you are considered a franchise player. What are you talking about?
They're not retiring.
How is that not possible?
Because he doesn't have stats. I don't consider.
So you're telling me that. Wait. So you're telling me that he is not going to be hoisting his
Okay, wait, no, Carl, you're exactly. The Golden State Warriors are definitely going to.
Look, I know that the New York Knicks haven't had.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on.
They're gonna retire his number.
Celebrate.
Why would they
celebrate Draymond's
number?
They might. He might be in the Curry statue.
One, they only have 2 chips so far, right? Is it 2?
He might be in the Curry statue.
No,
they're on 3. They're on 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Draymond, I don't really consider Draymond a big factor.
I agree with Carl.
I agree with Carl as well.
Because my thing is Iguodala. Hold on. Is Iguodala's jersey gonna get retired?
Exactly. You might as well
retire his jersey as well.
Iguodala's role wasn't as big as.
Come on, bro. He won Finals MVP. Bro.
A lot of he won. All right, let's talk about it. LeBron James had the best final statistic almost in history. At the same time, he damn well led all the teams in every category for both teams in that final series. But because he didn't win that finals, they didn't give it to him. Where they should have done it the same way that they did to Jerry West. You know, like so I don't understand why.
I don't think LeBron would have accepted that. LeBron wouldn't have accepted a losing trophy. Yo,
doesn't matter. They still should have given it to the Finals MVP. The Finals MVP is the guy.
The only reason Iguodala won the Finals MVP because Curry couldn't, Clay couldn't, and Draymond couldn't. That's why. But if any of them would have done something, anything.
Curry had great stats that year.
Guys, I gotta tell you.
No, but I'm talking about Finals
You guys
MVP.
are reaching right here that Draymond Green's not going to be
he did not show up in the finals.
You guys are reaching that he's not going to be. The jersey's not going to be retired.
Carl's the only one who doesn't think his numbers.
Yeah. I don't know where you're coming.
You guys think Draymond's number is going to be retired?
I don't think in the Golden State Warriors. He's part of the franchise of the team that brought 3 rings to Golden State.
Look at players who have had their teams their numbers retired. These are usually players who have had good stats or have had a really good impact on that team for a long time.
Are you telling me that, dude?
How many times have teams left Draymond wide open because they're covering Clay and they're covering Curry? Like, bro, come on, bro. Draymond is not the
Draymond on the low is averaging almost a triple double on the low for the last 4 years.
Let's get this established.
Like 8 points a game, 8 points a game, like 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, bro. I'm sorry. Bro, these are the type of numbers. What's it called? What's the Alfred Payton averages?
Yeah, I agree.
Yo, I agree. Look, I said I agree. Like I said, I agree with you. I don't think his number should be retired.
I don't think his number should get retired after that.
I feel all your facts. I so hardly agree with. I just think because of how he is and how he is with that franchise who are currently there. I feel he can finesse his way to getting his number retired.
Ain't no finesse.
You can definitely
I don't see what it would be hard to finesse.
They had a chance. If
He's
they had a
part of the
chance
core
between
championship
KD
team
and
that brought
Draymond,
three
they gotta
to
let
the
Draymond go.
franchise. I don't understand why that's even a debate.
I don't think you guys. I think you guys value Draymond more than the Warriors value Draymond.
Yeah, I agree. You know
think
what it is? You know what it is?
They gave him $80
They
million
would let
without
go of Draymond easily, bro.
Carl,
They
you know what
gave
it
him
is?
$80 million to pass the ball.
Yeah, Mike, what you saying?
Oh, you know what it is? I think they're becoming too glamorized with the Curry and the Clay combination. Draymond, I don't see Draymond's number getting retired because I think he's a good player in the right system.
I agree with you.
And in his circumstances, he was lucky to have a Clay and a Curry because look at when this season started, right? And Curry got injured, and it was D'Angelo Russell and a bunch of up and coming first and second year players and stuff like that. And he wasn't outputting the same kind of contribution he was doing before. So I don't think he's a franchise player off that fact because he can't.
But check this out, but Mike, that's enough. Being the right player in the right franchise is enough to get your jersey retired.
For what though? Because if that's the case, then Derek Fisher's jersey should get
That's
retired
enough.
for the 3 rings that he had.
No, it doesn't. Look. The thing is, like I said, Mike, Carl, I agree with you. I don't think that he deserves it at all. What I'm saying is the way he works with the franchise like that and the mind share that he's gained with the fans of the Bay Area, that is a way he could finesse his way to get for the Warriors to retire his number. I don't agree with it. It's not, like I said, it's not from merit. It's all from
bro?
It's not. You look at it, if you look at his numbers. If you look at all big threes,
just get stuck in, man.
if he's a big three, you can replace him with a lot more players as you can replace Chris Bosh on Miami Heat. You can't. It's hard. But no, we're talking about people who deserve their numbers retired. He does not deserve it off of his merit and what he does on the court because he's replaceable. He doesn't uplift the team unless one of the other 2 stars on that team is there.
But bro, to win, you need talent. Draymond is Phil Jackson. Draymond benefits off talent. You feel me? So if you put talent around him, he's able to perform and show the skills that around those stars, like passing, playing defense, running the floor.
But then you open that up to people who've never won anything, but they've been the best player on a horrible team.
Yeah, but they never won anything.
And never done anything.
But he didn't.
Yeah, but to what you're saying is because he had Steph and Clay there, that's why he's great. That doesn't. You can't be a great player.
Exactly. Look at Lambeer. Lambeer's another example of that. Lambeer might have not been nice in any other team, but in the Bad Boys, he was perfect. So much that established the personality of that team. He might have had that same success in another team.
But his number isn't retired.
That's the point.
I mean, according to the basketball model, Draymond has a 26% chance of becoming a Hall of Famer.
That's all right for a Hall of Fame, but I'm talking about for getting his jersey retired.
Everyone who has had their jersey retired is a Hall of Fame candidate, bro.
I'd agree with you.
The reason why I think he can get into the Hall of Fame because it's easy to get into the basketball Hall of Fame.
I'd agree with you about his number getting retired if he was able to continue the momentum with Curry and Clay being out and being teamed up with Russell, or him being teamed up with Andrew Wiggins, but it's his contribution completely diminished, as Jonah said earlier. And I don't see his number getting retired because then we can make a point for the other quote unquote role players or pieces when the Lakers won the championship and stuff like that, like a Derek Fisher or a Ron Artest and whatnot, that were integral parts of that team and that makeup, and Andrew Bynum and whatnot.
No, I agree. No, like I said, I agree with you, but the
only thing Andrew Bynum contributed was closelining the hell out of JJ Barretta.
No, I don't like talking about Andrew Bynum. That's not, please.
We can all agree that Draymond will most likely never be a All-Star again, right?
Yes.
I don't know
Yes,
why he was
that
an
is
all-star in the first place, but
Now his stats were pretty legit.
John Starks could become an
No.
all-star one lifetime.
Bro,
you know,
he was almost a
it's possible,
triple-double.
it's possible.
He was
Ah.
on
He was
the
almost
He had a baby
He
triple-double.
on the low key was almost
Aight, but
averaging a
it's
triple
still
double.
a triple
It's
double.
a baby
you know?
triple-double.
Plus, he
The-
was
the
defensive
baby,
player.
the infant.
Plus, he was like runner-up for defensive player of the year like 3 years in a row type shit. You know, so he was
Yeah.
playing a lot of defense. Whenever
Bro.
Curry and whoever else would slack, Draymond would be the one to pick up the defensive
They only
slack.
bringing
You
this
know,
up because they
so
when they were winning. Draymond was
Is-
Scott's get to
Is
earth.
Bill Lambert's number
What?
retired? Bill Lambert is the same thing for the Detroit Pistons that you could argue that that Draymond is
Bro,
for the Warriors.
they lost a
Number is not retired.
Yeah,
They
but
lost
see,
a
but
championship
but
because
also
Draymond
that the
wasn't
reason,
on the
like I said, the
floor.
reason why I think Draymond can get it is because of the fact that Lambeer didn't have that superstar attitude and projected out. Draymond, he talks like he puts up 30 and 6 a game.
He
And-
talks like it.
Yes,
But
but
he
but
recognizes
but
the-
unfortunately,
Draymond.
he's been a contributor during that run where they were winning, and that's why he can. It's like a hive mind thing that he's do,
The
and
thing-
that's why I think he can finesse his way to getting his number retired. I don't think
They're
he
gonna
deserves
retire.
it.
I know what you mean
they're
by
gonna retire.
I know what you mean by finesse. But Draymond is a talker. He talks big because that's part of his psyche. You know, he likes to get into the players' heads. You know, that's part of his thing. That makes
The KG.
yeah, and nobody else in the Golden State Warriors does that. So he stands out even more. What
I
he
will
brings
say
to
this,
the
I
Golden
will
State
say
Warriors,
this.
nobody else does.
I will say
And
this:
they
there
know
are
they
4
need it.
people on the Golden State Warriors before him that will go get their jersey retired, and that's KD, Steph, Clay, and Kerr. That's definitely a fact that they will.
Mhm.
It's
Not
their
getting his
names are
jersey
gonna get
retired.
retired. Are gonna get put
Why
retired.
would KD get his jersey retired? He was only on the Warriors for 2 years.
One championship.
Oh, it doesn't
But that's 2
matter.
championships.
They won
The same-
championships. They won
That's 2
championships
championships,
before
though.
him. They won
Two championships.
before him.
Yo, two
and
championships.
he left.
2 championships is enough to
I
get your
know it's
jersey
not
retired.
enough. It's not their first.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not their first championship, and he left.
He's probably even gonna get a statue also. KD,
He's not gonna
bro.
get a statue.
Bro, they're giving statues to everybody nowadays. Man.
Nah, but he's definitely gonna get his jersey retired.
I-
Everything's
Because-
about a statue now.
I don't know. I
mean-
don't know. Maybe somebody could be wearing his jersey right now.
Oh,
Real quick,
I think like people's numbers just get retired for nothing, bro.
Nah,
Nah, 2 championships. He was only there for 2 seasons, and he won both times.
Oh,
Two
I think-
championships and
yeah,
I
finals
think
Three,
he's.
three,
I think he's gonna get and 2 Finals
doubt it.
MVPs, bro.
I doubt
with
it.
that team.
I think
Hell
I
yeah.
doubt it, bro.
championship is
The
the
fact
top of the
that-
top.
Listen, it's
Championship
not
is
only
the
that.
top
Look,
of
it's
the
not only
top.
that, but you have to understand this. Carl, you gotta understand this. KD's going to the Hall of Fame, right? Okay, he's going to the Hall of Fame, right? So now, who is he going under? Right now, is he going under? Is he going to go under the Brooklyn Nets if he wins a couple of championships? Yes,
So,
but we don't know he's going to do that yet.
No, OKC.
So right
OKC
now, if he was
OKC's
retired right now,
retiring
he's going to the
his
Hall of Fame. He's
Yeah,
going. He's
OKC.
not going in as a Thunder.
Also,
He's not going in as a Thunder. He's going in as a Golden State Warrior because he
Miggs,
won
to
with it.
piggyback on your point
Go
that you're
at
trying to
himself,
make.
bro.
To piggyback on your point that you're trying to make, also, KD is a Hall of Famer, legitimately.
Yeah.
Arguably the second best player. Carl might say he's even the best player in the league.
No.
But some people might. But whatever. Golden State wants to keep Kevin Durant part of theirs. So if he doesn't win nowhere else, at least they got him to, they're gonna retire his jersey to show him that love, so he could keep coming
Yeah,
back. 'cause
exactly.
He's that much.
Those
Alumni. He's
literally
alumni,
were going to be.
bro.
They're going to be 2 of the most dominated seasons that he had. Aside from his MVP season with OKC, it's just going to happen. He's not going to go in as OKC.
You have to go.
Yo,
to the Hall of
Iguodala's gonna
Fame
get his jersey
as
retired.
You go to the Hall of Fame as yourself. It's a body.
I don't know about
of your
Iguodala.
work.
I don't know about
You're gonna
Iguodala.
look at everything that he's done on every
Sixers
single
got Iguodala.
stats that he puts up, and the
I guess because of the championship.
But he was always going to be remembered as the guy who won 2 championships with Golden State.
Not really. Not really.
He kind of is. He kinda
Honestly,
is.
Depending on what he does in Brooklyn.
Which is still up in the air. He could, if he was to win, I mean, that's what he's going to be known as. That's for a fact.
Or it also depends what the Warriors do. If the Warriors start winning chips again, then people are gonna say, I don't know, maybe KD got his chip because of the Warriors, and not necessarily the Warriors got their chips because of KD.
That's true, but KD, those 2 chips have an asterisk.
He was Finals MVP. You can't talk anything.
But
KD stopped LeBron James from winning 2 championships.
He may have been the best player on the team,
literally with dagger shots.
Who benefited more? Did KD benefit more from the Warriors, or did the Warriors benefit more from KD? Because
judging by the fact that they blew a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think it's obvious that it's very obvious that they needed KD for the next 2 championships. Because you had all the same team was the same team. No, it was the same team.
They didn't
have KD and they blew a 3-1 lead. They shouldn't have blown that 3-1 lead. Forget the fact that Draymond was out for 2 games. Forget all that. They shouldn't have blown the 3-1 lead. And then the following year, KD slapped them twice.
We're gonna be on.
I think a case could be made that KD was more important to Golden State.
Y'all don't remember Game 6? Game 6, what's it called? Klay Thompson had 3 fouls in the first quarter. Steph Curry had like 2-3 fouls in the first quarter, bro. Game 6 of that series, bro.
Did the Golden State Warriors without KD lose a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the same team that they beat before? Yes.
Okay, but Miggs, listen. Does that mean you need to recruit the second best player in the world? No,
Apparently
they could have got a Bradley Beal. They could have got a Bradley Beal and won 2 chips.
Listen, me personally,
think about that.
If I'm able to go get KD, no. You don't. First of all, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to Kevin Durant to even put Bradley Beal. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I don't think it's fair to Bradley Beal to put him in the same category as Kevin Durant. Okay, that's for starters.
That's not what Jonas.
At the end of the day, you lost a 3-1 lead. You feel sour. You go out to get the best talent out there. And KD was out there.
Miggs, you're going by stats. The stats say that they were this close to winning a championship, right? 1 game away, 1 quarter away, 5 points away, So therefore, does that mean that they need the second best player or the best player in the world to go get over that hump? No,
it's not a matter of whether or not you need it. It's a matter of if you can go get it. Why not get it?
I understand that. That's not the point. That has nothing to do with anything. You're saying
KD. Guys, real quick.
I plugged any All-Star in there.
All right, Carl, real quick. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys about the free agency, how the free agency is going to look like. So I'm just going to list a couple players that right now are going to be free agents after the season.
Anthony Davis.
So Anthony Davis, Mike Conley, Gordon Hayward, Tristan Thomas, Aaron Baines, Gerald Green, Paul Millsap, Hassan Whiteside, Montrezl Harrell, Brandon Ingram, Gallinari.
The big one.
Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol. Any shifts, any changing?
Mike Conley to the Sixers.
Okay, that's good.
Anthony Davis leaves the league.
You think Anthony Davis is leaving LA?
It's safe to say Mike Conley's leaving.
I think Anthony Davis leaves LA for New York.
Really?
I don't know about New York, but he's definitely leaving LA.
That would be nice in New York. Him and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah. No. Let's just cut that right.
Wait, why do you think Anthony Davis is leaving LA?
I think LA's
bro. Ever since they asked him, he's never committed to Los Angeles.
I just assumed that he wanted a max. He just wanted a max contract. That's probably why.
Nah, he's not staying, especially if they don't win this year. Because why would you want to play with LeBron?
That's a good point to be made. Why would you want to play with an aging LeBron?
Not even
especially when you don't have a team, put together yet.
Not even just an aging LeBron. Like you do better than LeBron statistically, and all the credit goes to LeBron. And LeBron, why would you
want to play? Why would you want to play with somebody that has taken you somewhere that you have never been to, and that's the top of the West? Why would you want to play with that man again?
Yeah, because you're gonna lose. Once you lose,
I'm pretty sure Anthony Davis is gonna stay for the Lakers.
Get all the blame once you lose. Why would you want to stay on that?
That's LeBron's baby. LeBron brought baby AD to grow and flourish in LA.
AD is a franchise. AD is ahead of that team.
He came
in
back
the next 2 years.
LeBron came back from the offseason with a baby with a dinosaur egg, guys. basically, a baby dinosaur, fucking dinosaur egg, and said, "Here, guys, do as
actually,
not LA.
you know,
I think LA
dinosaur had a bigger tail than LeBron.
I think guys like Gallinari and Whiteside, they're gonna I feel like they're gonna move elsewhere. They're not gonna be on the same teams this year. Mike Conley also, I think Mike Conley's also gonna probably be on another team next year.
No, but honestly, hold on, Miggs. Honestly, I think that that's how LeBron sold them. LeBron sold them like, yo, this is LA. The Lakers will be
1000%.
yours sooner than later. You know, sooner than later.
You are the Lakers
The
now.
Lakers will be
I'm
yours.
done.
Exactly, I'm done. The Lakers are yours, bro.
Brandon Ingram, you gotta pay him the max. You gotta pay Ingram the max. That's the only way.
Anthony Davis just came from
that guy. They're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to give him the money now. You know,
you gotta pay AD.
Keep that team.
However you can get it.
But Anthony Davis wanted to come to LA. He fucks with the Lakers.
LeBron manipulated his way into
that was
LA.
one of the teams. That's
Before
one of the
AD so it makes it look. Yeah,
AD,
exactly.
LeBron had to go to a franchise that could get free agents. He went to the top of the top franchise that could get free agents.
Oh man!
So now the Lakers. If Anthony Davis leaves the Lakers, blame LeBron, yes, but also blame LA because they're supposed to be the hot spot, right? They're supposed to be one of the hot spots in the NBA, or maybe the hottest spot. So if they don't keep AD, they didn't do their job either.
I mean, if they lost, they lost. People stay for winning. If your team sucks, I can't win.
Yeah, if they lose, I don't blame them. If they lose, move on. I don't blame them. I would leave too.
Mike Conley. Where did you say Mike Conley would end up, Miggs?
Well, no, Lamont said Philadelphia.
I definitely see him leaving. I don't think that Jazz experiment is working. So his contribution, like I
think he's definitely that team's gonna get blown up in the summer.
Oh, I think the Blazers are gonna get blown up.
Oh yeah, it's over. The Blazers are definitely getting blown up after this season.
That's a serious situation over there.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't
who do you think is gonna
be surprised if Aldridge ends up playing his career out back in Portland.
The Blazers,
I feel like
right?
he's gonna leave.
Spurs might get blown up too. I can see the Spurs trying to get rid of DeRozan and Aldridge.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they want to.
I think DeRozan. I think DeRozan said that he doesn't want to stay.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna.
It's just too much pressure for him.
They're gonna split. I think so. That's
too much pressure for DeRozan.
Yeah, unless I think it happens.
Too much pressure.
I feel like they want to build around Derek White and
You never know. Because up until Kawhi.
Also, don't remember they got Lionel Walker too.
They got Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker, Lonnie Walker's a young.
You never know, regarding DeRozan, you never know because up until Kawhi, nobody had really left Pop. Pop usually does whatever.
But Pop is on his way out.
Well, then
I don't see Pop. I don't see Pop's coaching like if not after this season, definitely after next season.
Tim Duncan might take over.
That girl.
Becky Hammond
as an assistant coach, probably Tim Duncan, but I think it's gonna be the head coach is gonna be the lady that
Becky Hammond, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's her name. Sorry.
She's gonna be head coach of the Spurs.
Yeah, she's actually pretty great, actually, from what I hear.
No, she's good.
The assistant.
Yeah.
Every coach that has been under Pop has done really well on other teams. Like you see what Budovic is doing with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Now, if only our coach could just go a little bit before.
Becky Hammond, that's what it's come down to.
I mean, she's got the pop.
I'd rather get David Black.
Yeah.
I'd rather get David Black.
David Black, that's an unfortunate situation he found himself in. I never saw something like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
When you're winning, and you actually come over and
you're winning and you still get fired.
I mean, well, but then again, they did that to this guy too.
But
he coaches the Detroit Pistons now.
He didn't leave empty-handed. He got
the Brooklyn Nets coach, Atkinson.
Yo, you heard, but
No,
this
yeah, but
nigga
the thing
David
is,
Black.
but they did that to this guy too. He had the best.
But
record.
he didn't win. He lost. He still lost in the playoffs. That's why
he got swept. He got swept on by LeBron James, and they kicked
yeah,
him.
that's why they fired him. But it's
Yeah.
yeah, but that's different on the other end because they were winning. They didn't even get to the playoffs yet, but they were still winning. Like, there was no
David Black didn't leave. David Black didn't leave empty-handed. He left with a finals appearance and Eastern Conference.
Now he works for the
trophy. Yeah, he's gonna bring that experience over there. Let's see how long that lasts.
Now he's not a coach. He's like I think like a consultant. Yeah.
Oh, so basically LeBron.
Nah, he's there to look at He's there to look at he's there to draft pretty much like the European players.
Yeah, he got connects over there.
That's really what that's about.
He's gonna draft the next Jetty Osman.
Nah, the next Frank Ntilikina, boy.
Anyways, let me wrap this up real quick. We've been going on for a while now. All right, so thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, the Coaches Challenge on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share. And we're back with you guys next week for some more content about the NBA. Thank you, and have a good day.
Yo, man, I'm gonna get out of here, B. I gotta go to bed.
All right.
Night.
All right, yo. I'm gonna hit y'all in the chat,
bro.
All right.
Night.
Oh, 3-time champ.